respect. I just slaughter, don't be bothered. Watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down. You gotta get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? You gotta get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Jack, he's a psychomaniac, that's right. It's Defo sight, it don't matter who's wrong or right. I just might catch you slipping, getting paid is my intuition. More death, more cheese.
Delete Horizon. Got Octane.
Rest in chaos. You gotta get paid. More cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? You gotta get paid. More cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Look around, tell me what do you see? A lunatic now, get like me. It's a rap by the count of three, and it's all being filmed on Shock TV. Yeah, it's me, I'ma do my best to rip to your chest, make of your flesh, bend of your neck.
Okay, hello. I said this won't be very long. Gonna fire this up real fast and go through the changes. This is a pretty meaty patch, so wanted to do something at the very least. All right, let's get this over with. All right, this already works how I want it to. Good, okay. Excellent. Still looks off. Fuck. Still looks very slightly. Also, thank you for the 19 months. It just... That looks like it did it. Okay. So, I've already watched the trailer. I'm not going to watch that on stream. Take a deep dive with the devs into the Legacy update. We're going beyond Battle Royale with our see a new Legend Valkyrie. As well as new arena maps, an Olympus map update, and much more. Click the video down below. Games are going underground with the introduction of a new permanent mode arenas, fully reassembled and unimpressed with the glitz and glamour of the Apex games. Former Apex spreader Ash is taking the competition back to its roots, a pure form of combat. The rules are simple: 3v3, eliminate your enemies to win the round, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, you win or you die. Arenas feature a new set of custom maps tailor-made for close quarters combat, with more to come in the future. Squads start each round in a spawn room, where they can get weapons, gear, and abilities, and adjust their loadout as the strategy changes. First team to win 3 rounds with at least a 2-point lead will be crowned the victor unless they battle to a 4 tie. Then they'll have the honor of participating in Ash's favorite part of the game, sudden death. Check out the blog for a full dive into it. Actually, I want to look at this. New permanent game mode condenses the chaos of 20 squad battle royale into more focused. Yeah, there's a CS:GO buy round. Actually, the only thing I want to know about is the sudden death. Game kicks into sudden death mode. But, like, what is sudden death? Is there like a change? Curious about? Yeah, no third party. Unused ultimate tactical charge will carry over. About the fight, yeah, we're gonna see this. Yeah, they've been keeping the sudden death hidden. I don't know if it means that the sudden death is just nothing, or if there's something wacky that's going to happen. I have no idea. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not, like, most of them are fine. I'm not sure if I agree with all of them. Yeah, so we've already looked at arenas. So Party Crasher is one of the arenas for the 3v3 mode. It's a Crash Mirage Voyage, which I think is very cute. I've always loved the art style for this. I don't know if I can view this. I can. Yeah, I love this aesthetic. It's really good. I love that Mirage Voyage lives on, because I don't really think it was a great part of Kings Canyon, but I liked the design of it, so really glad that... Is there really no back button on the box? No. Okay. Phase Runner is basically a remapped version. It looks like World's Edge version of the teleporters on Olympus. Yeah, that's fine. In addition to the 2 new maps, other areas from our 3 VR maps will be thrown into a bi-weekly rotation, giving you 5 maps total. Artillery from Kings Canyon, that's cringe. Thermal Station for World's Edge, also very cringe. And Golden Guards from Olympus, that's fine. I think these 2 are cringe. And I don't really like Phase Runner, so my favorites are probably going to be Party Crasher and Golden Gardens. But, again, it's all personal preference. Phase Runner sounds huge, and for arena maps, I don't like them. Anyways, moving on. Valkyrie. Alright. Daughter of Apex Predator Viper, salvaged the remains of her father's Northstar Titan years after his death. With Rampart's help, she fashioned into a sleek new jetpack. So she has destroyed a Titan with Rampart. Oh man, I'm sure that'll make some Titanfall people mad. Good, they deserve it. Anyways, use your jetpack to reposition or reach high places. You have limited fuel and cannot use weapons while. Okay. I know she can also reposition with her teammates, which is kind of insane. So this is going to be probably a pretty insane passive. We'll see. It just depends on how much prep it needs. But if it's anywhere incomparable to the speed of Horizon's Gravity Lift on a passive, that's fucking nuts. That's absolutely insane. Fire a swarm of mini rockets which damage and disorient the enemy. This makes it sound like the damage is going to be small, but you're going to be disorientated in some way. So I'm not sure if it's going to be like arc stars or caustic gas or whatever. Seems pretty good. Alright, ultimate. Take the disguise to reposition a long distance across the map. Your squad mates can join in. Oh, okay, so your teammates actually can't use it unless it's your ult. Interesting. Okay, so you have no huge damaging ultimate. Your tactical's all you've got. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad then. But this is interesting. I like this character, actually. Now I'm like looking at her. Seems well designed. We'll see. A little worried about the jetpack, and the only reason I am is because it is going to... Honestly, I'm worried about like sniper memes. Like Kraber and whatnot, but that's already a problem, so shrug. Yeah, it's like kind of like a jump tower wherever you want. You know? Well, the main thing I was worried about is like if you watch the trailer, she like funnels her tactical with Horizon's black hole. I'm like, oh god, here we go. I thought that was her. I thought she had like an ultimate version of Missile Swarm. She doesn't, so that's really good. And she's a recon character, which is I don't know if we need another recon character, but you know, shrug. But we will see. Alright, so the new bow check. Okay. Compound bow is a precision marksman weapon that rewards a skilled and confident hand. Holding down fire will draw the bow over a short time, increasing the power of the shot with maximum power, giving optimal damage. Projectile speed. You guys don't actually know this, but when you make a Source Engine game, Valve's assassins approach you in the night, and they make you add the Huntsman to the game. That's just what you have to do if you make a Source Engine game. You have to have the Huntsman in your game, or Valve will kill you. That's just how it works. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm telling you now. That's just how it is. You'll be murdered if you don't have the Huntsman. If you're even adjacent to a Source Engine game like Overwatch, you have to have the Huntsman in your game. That's just how it is. And yeah, I personally like the Huntsman. I'm not sure if I'd use it in a game like this, but I like that it exists. New ammo type arrows, which are unique to the weapon. That's very cringe. Arrows are more rare on the battlefield, but fire arrows will stick in the surfaces and you can pick them up. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to be worth the trouble. That's the only thing I'm worried about. It is going to have to do something insane to be worth the trouble of finding these arrows and going back and picking them up. Like why would I take this as opposed to a wingman, for example? Like you kind of like, or for a mid-range, I don't even know if there's something comparable. Like I mean, even a 30-30 repeater, although 30-30 just dog shit. So it's like, yeah, it's not looking good, but we'll see. Maybe it does insane damage. Maybe it has maybe it's very accurate. You don't have to adjust for bullet drop or something. Who knows? We'll see. Whips 2 hop-ups. That doesn't, again, that's what I mean when I say not worth the trouble, though. If this thing is like, I have to scavenge for arrows that barely exist and then also get 2 hop-ups to make it viable, I don't think it's ever going to be used. I'm glad it exists, but it's not something we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. I can't like give you an accurate thing, but it sounds like there's a lot of trouble to get it as strong as it was. Maybe it's the new league for people who want to flex. Oh, hey. I'm glad it exists, but yeah, this is odd. And we have a broken image on this thing. I've seen the trailer though, so it's fine. A fleet of mysterious ships have made their way to Olympus. I'm going to need a drink soon. A fleet of mysterious ships have made their way to Olympus and brought with them an otherworldly parasitic plant that has begun to take root along the surface.
Oh, banana.
Sir PLS, Sir PLS, Sir PLS.
What is that emote? Thank you for the 20. Anyways, Lead ship, the Icarus, is docked with the city and change the landscape for good. Fight through the claustrophobic halls of the ghost ship. So, this is that big ship in the, like, what, top right corner of Olympus? And now it's got, like, parasitic plants and shit? That's cool. Search corpses for a mysterious key card, and walk away as the last squad standing. Mysterious key card. So that sounds like what we're getting Vault on Olympus. Wait. To allow everyone to see the latest map update, Olympus will be the only map in rotation for the first week of the news. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is very cringe. But, you know. Like, the map's not going anywhere. But anyways, this is probably my favorite change of the patch, and it is probably one of the best changes they made. Players will now start a match with a starter kit consisting of level 1 shield, helmet, knockdown shield, and 2 syringe cells and syringes, or 2 shield cells and syringes each. We've removed helmets and level 1 helmets and knockdown shields from the loot pool. Spawn chances for level 1 armor has been significantly reduced. Along with the lower or removed spawn chances for these items, we've rebalanced the loot pool such that higher level versions of these items will appear nearly the same as they do now, but other item types will appear more often. Weapons, ordnance, health, ammo, etc. This is really good. This is, like, easily the best change they've made. Probably up there in terms of the game's lifespan. This needed to be done ages ago. People have been telling them to do this since, like, Season 1, maybe Season 2. This is very good. It is just not fun to have to find basic protection. Like, that's the thing. There's a baseline that this game sets, and there's just no scavenging for it is not fun because it doesn't feel good. It's like, all right, I have garbage. It's like, okay, like, it's just not fun. It's not fun, and I'm glad it's out. I laughed when I saw this because you actually said this should happen a while ago. I mean, all my friends were saying this should happen. I'm not even going to take credit for this specifically. I am going to take credit for that Final Fantasy change in Bozja because I was calling that. But I won't take credit for this because it's just like, yeah, it's common sense, right? Less randomness. And before the Apex devs watch you, they must fucking hate me if they watch me. Anyways, we want to take a crack at improving the loot game for a while, and with our design goals to make picking up loot feel more impactful to the game, and to thin out our loot a bit in general, since we're always adding new items to the pool. The reset locked and load takeover mode helped us field test some of the changes we're looking to move forward. Certain pieces of and low tier loot types specifically are being put on a note. Yeah, this is good. This is probably the best change of the patch, in my opinion. This is, like, insanely good. This is such a good quality of life change for the game. Like, honestly, I think you should start with, like, an unkitted P2020 with, like, a full clip and nothing else. It's, like, just so you're not defenseless. And then maybe nerf how, like, rubbery melee feels, like, where you snap into people. And I think the game would be, like, in terms of hot dropping, I think the game would be in a great spot. I think it's already in a much better spot than it was before. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, moving on, we're getting emotes. You can emote. What I liked is this. So if there's somebody you can't see, so since emotes put you in third person, if you can't see someone in first person, while you're in third person mode emoting, you can't see them either, which is interesting. I'm not sure how well that will work. We'll see, knowing Respawn Entertainment, but it's a good idea. Like, they want more shit to monetize. Everyone likes emoting in their video games. And it won't make the game shit. So yeah, pretty much, I'm fine with this across the board. It's more shit to chug their dog shit battle pass with, but maybe they'll remove some of the shitty rare skins instead. I would take a emote over a random uncommon weapon skin day of the week. So yeah, I'm gonna need to refill my drink. Where's my drink? I miss streaming. Already dropping frames though, so only for a moment. But yeah, so far so good. I've already read over the patch notes and I have a couple problems, but this patch is more good than less bad, or more good over more bad. Anyways, Battle Pass. Unlock the Premium Legacy Battle Pass to level it up to unlock new skins like Rampart's Crafty Kazune, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Premium level 25, that doesn't look that good. And Rafe's Demon Whisper, oh, that's what it's talking about. That looks like shit. That looks okay. Shrug. Yeah, that looks fine. How do I go back? Oh, there we go. Nice. Low profile no longer exists. This trait has been removed from Wraith, Lifeline, and Watson. All good. None of these characters needed that ability. I think Octane has been encroaching on a Wraith so much that this is a fine buff. I don't think there was any reason for this to exist. And yeah, it's like if they had removed it from like more unbalanced characters, like if this had said this trait had been removed from Horizon Octane, I would have been kind of like head scratching if they didn't do any nerfs. But like the fact that this only exists on these 3 characters, yeah, no reason for it. There's no reason for it to exist. Yeah, it's really fucking dumb. Like I think Wraith is fine. Probably of the 3, she's the most offensive, but like this is fine. There's no reason for this to. I really like these lifeline changes. I'll go over this in a second. So her revive, if you're not familiar, when she revived, she put a shield that could not be hit in front of her, and it auto-resed her teammates. So she didn't have to do anything. She could just put the shield up and she was good. So now, it no longer deploys the shield. You can now revive both players at once. And you can now cancel active revives in progress to allow your teammate to defend themselves with their knockdown shield. So my question here, this in particular, can the teammate cancel it? Or can only you cancel it? That's going to change a lot of things about this character. I'm a little concerned because I do think teammates should be able to cancel it, but we'll see. Heal rate increased from 5 HP to 8 HP. That's pretty big. Deployment time before healing begins reduced by roughly 33%. So basically, they want to make this heal very significant, but they don't want to make you just be able to pop heal in the middle of a gunfight, which I think is fine. That's good. 5 to 8 HP is pretty fucking insane. I want to say, unless you are literally 1 HP, the heal drone should be able to heal you from full after an engagement. Is really fucking good. Care package. Cooldown reduced from 6 to 5 minutes. Now guarantees an upgrade if possible in 3 categories. Body shield, other equipment, helmet, backpack, and knockdown shield. So your four main body attachments, basically. I'll just call them body attachments for the sake of this patch note. So your body attachments are your helmet, your shield, your knockdown, and your backpack. So you will always get an upgrade for somebody. I assume. Upgrade for somebody in your body attachments, and a weapon attachment, based on your team's current gear when the package arrives. This is a very, very good buff to a very, very weak ult. Lifeline's kit was not in a particularly healthy place. The passive shield was extremely strong to the point of frustration. While her tactical and ultimate seemed like they were becoming more and more obsolete, these changes are aimed to redistribute big power differential between all of her abilities, making Doc and Care Package more powerful and effective, while tempering down the highly binary and situational combat revive. Okay, so this is very good. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough for people to pick her. I definitely don't think she will still never be seen in competitive, and the reason for that is she has no movement speed ability, and the shield, like, the amount of situations in where you will not get aped by better players when they have been downed is only still going to make this this passive is only going to be good in a 3v3v3v3 situation, or when they're behind corners, or when they've been crabered. There's a lot of situations where this will be good, but the removal of the shield will make this not as good in the mix of a firefight, which I think is definitely the way to go. The issue is, this was really, really good and Lifeline's best ability, one of the best passives in the game, but it wasn't fun. I don't think anyone would agree it was fun. The only person who was enjoying it was Lifeline, and that's only if she had the gold bag, because if she didn't have the gold bag, they would get up and get knocked back down again. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It wasn't a good ability. I'm glad I changed it. The heal drone is really good. I really think this ability should always be able to fully heal you, as long as you're not in the midst of a firefight. Like, so it's like, you've been third-partied, you win, and you're like, all of you are 10 health. I think this drone, you should never have to use a syringe with Lifeline. I think Lifeline should always just be able to top you off, and that's good. The cooldown is solid. I still think it's a bit too long for what it is. I don't know. It depends on how strong the upgrade is. If it's only 1 tier up, 5 minutes is still a lot to ask. That's, what? Without ult accelerants, that's 5 ults a game? I guess that's not terrible. You could probably increase that with ult accelerants to 7 or 8. Maybe 8. 8 is pushing it. But 7 Lifeline ults a game? If you go to the final ring, that's not terrible. But yeah, the issue, I mean, like, this is a good buff for a weak character. I still don't think she'll ever be picked in ranked or competitive. Because, despite the care package providing some cover, players usually won't get themselves into a situation where they need the care package for cover. She has no movement ability, she has no shield. Competitive players usually ape their teammates, so this won't be as good. This is mostly a buff to people that are new to the game, and I think it's a solid buff because new players will be scared to loot, so they'll need loot from the care package. They will be constantly wounded without good meds, so the heal drone is there, and the revive is just much less cancerous to deal with. So I think for new players this is a really good buff. So yeah, right, I need to drink. Alright, good old Octane. So I want to preface this, and I'm not going to scroll down the low bit. I want to preface this by saying I really love Octane. I think Octane is one of the funnest characters in the game. He was just insanely oppressive, so. Her head biggened, yeah. Reduced cooldown between stims to 4 seconds to 1 second. Increased health cost to 12 to 20, which is pretty insane. So what I feel like they're trying to do with this is, for bad players, they will just kill themselves with their stim. And for good players, you'll have to be a little more careful. Like, I really don't think this is going to change anything with stim jump pad shenanigans. But this nerf is pretty insane. This is almost double health increase. And yeah, I'm assuming this cooldown is being, like, targeting bad players. It's like, hey, if you want to kill yourself with your stim, go for it. It's this is very odd, but this is fine. Increased bullet spread while in the air and shooting from the low launch pad trajectory. I'm actually not sure what this means. The low launch pad trajectory. So what does it mean? From the start of the launch pad to the end of it, you have more spread? I assume there's a bullet spread, like, statistic when you're in the air. And I'm assuming that the bad bullet spread of your guns just starts sooner. I'm assuming that's what they're going for. Means more force. Oh, okay. So yeah, it looks like what they're targeting here is the insane amount of stimming that Octanes do. This is a hit to both when he's running away and when he's running at you, which is solid. I think that's a good nerf all around. And then the meme shit with R301's midair with the launch pad seems to be it's going to be harder to pull off. I think this is good. This is probably the most reasonable nerf to Octane that I've seen. I think he deserves it. I think he'll still be good. This is pretty expensive. We'll see. But I think teams will still value the jump pad because, yeah, he's bad bullet spread when you crouch slide into the pad. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I didn't want to say so. But yeah, this is good. So yeah, you're going to stim. It's going to cost almost double your health. You're going to slide into the pad, which almost everyone does. I do that. And your bullet spread isn't going to be as good while you're in the air. Okay. Yeah, no, this is good. Octane continues to perform really well after the latest changes. Too well. We still love the frequency of the jump pad, but we'd like to make using stim something Octane thinks about doing at the right time, instead of always slamming it by default. I think the only thing I disagree with here is that, like, again, if you had buffed defensive characters, you probably didn't have to touch him much at all. You really didn't, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, I feel like, again, it's like, I've always agreed with the Dota way of balancing, like, buffing weaker characters instead of nerfing stronger. Sometimes you have to nerf stronger characters, but, like, you should always default to buffing characters, because if everyone's strong, everyone feels good to play. Makes sense, right? But I digress. I think these are fine. These are good. He's still going to be solid. With the low-profile removal of Wraith, Wraith was already kind of edging out Octane in tournaments, because Wraith is much safer than Octane. The issue... the jump pad covers more distance and is much faster, but Wraith in her portal is completely vulnerable. So, I think with these nerfs, Wraith is going to overtake Octane in tournaments. I think Octane will probably still be preferred for ranked. And the reason for that is jump pad is still valuable. The more aping you do on opponents, the more RP you get, and that's important. So yeah, I think this is the end of Octane in tournaments, I think. I think Wraith will be back to 100% in tournaments. She was already, like, back to, like, 80%, I think. But, like, 80, 90%. She was still picked more often than Octane was. But yeah, I think this is the end of Octane for tournaments. He might start getting flexed out in ranked again. But I still think he's viable. I still think he'll be picked in ranked. But yeah, I think... Looking at this, I think Wraith is back 100% tournament. And Octane will probably be gone from tournament. So yeah, not bad. We'll see. We'll see. Some people really like Octane. I really like Octane. I think he should stay good. So yeah, we'll see. Alright, moving on. Loba. This one's a bit of a head scratcher, and you'll see why. So her Q, her bracelet, that is infamous, can now run and slide at full speed while aiming the bracelet and while the bracelet is in the air. That's insanely good. Loba will no longer be slowed after translocating. That's also insanely good. Fix a lot of bugs that cause the bracelet tosses to fail. This is all so good. This is all so good. Her ult, increased cooldown from 90 to 120. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know if they're like worried that she's just a better lifeline, but I don't think you need to be worried about Loba and Lifeline competing. That's kind of what I'm like. I'm like really scratching my head here about this, because what does this do? It's like you can still slurp up ammo like people owe it to you. The biggest thing, I believe, is the nerf on drop, because Loba starts with her ult half filled. So this, you have to wait a minute to use your ult versus, what, 45 seconds? I mean, I try to use my Loba ult as much as possible, but you're right. It's like, what if you're Loba and you've braceleted into a bumfuck nowhere, why would you ult? There's no reason. Unless you're just trying to put it on cooldown. So it's just like, it's really a head scratcher. I don't know what they're going for here, because there's no dev note here. It's like they were just like, do it? I don't know, Tim. But yeah, I don't like, if they're worried about her being a better lifeline, they need to be worried about other things about this game's health. Honestly. It's very dumb. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal, but this is stupid. This is really good. So everything up to the Black Market boutique, I've agreed with. I think this is stupid. If they're going to increase the cooldown, they should have added a third item that you can suck up, I think. I think that would have been the fairest compromise. If it had to be 2 minutes, just 3 items from the Black Market. But like, yeah, I don't understand. The Q is a really good buff though, but I'll believe it when I see it. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. All right, Horizon. You guys know I love Horizon. All right. On the Horizon. All right. Gravity lift. Reduced lift speed by 30%. That's big. Reduced side to side acceleration so you can't strafe as much in midair. Limited to the time you can sit at the top of the gravity lift to 2 seconds. That's insane. Increased cooldown from 15 to 20 seconds. All of Horizon's abilities will now get zapped by Watson's pylon. So what does this mean? I actually have a question. Do you guys think that this Watson's ult will zap her black hole and her gravity lift? Do you think that will happen? I don't know why you'd gravity lift right next to Watson's ult. Yeah, okay. And her Q. Interesting. I think that's good. I actually think that's really good. A good change. I definitely want Watson to be stronger because of how the state that this game is in. So that's a really good buff. I like that a lot. Reduce lift speed by increased cooldown. This is the biggest thing to me right here. Although it's not going to feel too bad because of how much time it takes you to reach the top of the gravity lift. But yeah, we'll see. Horizon is powerful and popular, but that's not why we're making these changes. We believe that mistakes in Apex Legends should be punishable, and when Horizon could get herself out of bad position while popping a whole battery, that just wasn't true. These changes have 2 goals. Make it much more possible for enemies to shoot Horizon as she sets in her gravity lift, and make gravity lift less of an impromptu sniper tower. That's good. I'm not sure that's going to be enough, because her ult is still very strong. Her ult has to be dealt with. It can be synergized with the copious amounts of grenades in this game, and things like Valkyrie's Q, Fuse's ult, who would pick Fuse, etc, etc. There's not a ton of synergy with Horizon's ult, outside of like Gibby, Bangalore, Valkyrie Q. I'm running out of things. Most of Fuse's kit, but I don't think it's a big deal. It's not a huge deal. And the reality is, if they nerfed her ult, she would be a shit character. Nobody would pick her, so rug. I don't know. I think this is fine. We'll have to see. I think this is fine. This is definitely needed. They basically gutted this ability. Like, let's you and I both be real. This is a gut. They took this ability out back, but it's still really, really strong. This is how insane this ability was. They gutted this ability, and it's still insane because it's essentially become a Pathfinder ult with a less limited horizontal range on a Q. It's very good. It's very good. But now another thing I wanted to point out was with Valkyrie's jetpack, it's not as oppressive because there's other things you can do. Valkyrie's jetpack is essentially Pathfinder's Q. That's fine. I mean, it seems more akin to the gravity lift on a passive, so I think that's good. Time will tell. I do think these are changes in the right direction, though. He's buffed, though. The issue is Fuse has much bigger problems than his passive, so we'll see. I don't actually think Horizon was picked that much in ranked. I'll have to see. I actually want to check this. Give me a sec. Sorry. Type in Apex. I follow the account with all the rank statistics. Fuck. I'll have to go check my mutual followings. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Want to check something real quick. I don't think Horizon was picked that much in tournaments at all. Oh, never mind. No, she was. Okay, interesting. So, what are we looking at here? What's the most oppressive comp right now? Horizon, Gibby, Bloodhound. That's really cringe. Really? I guess this is just a side tournament. Yeah, as you can see from this tournament in particular, the World's Edge, NA, she's not really picked a ton. She's actually picked less than most of these picks in this game. So that's mostly fine. Caustic is still popular. Oh, this is March. I don't know. Late March, but this is the circuit playoffs. Horizon still picked a good bit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The nerf is definitely welcome though. Either way, I can't really say how much of an effect that'll have on ranked and competitive, but yeah, the fact that you can get out so easily with this, and the fact that it's also a Kraber tower, and the fact that they're hitting that the hardest is definitely a step in the right direction. I think she definitely won't be as good in all stages of the game, in all modes of the game, all stages of the game with this nerf. So yeah. Alright, so moving on to Fuse. Fuse now has 2 stacks of his Q, reduced cooldown from 25 to 20, more help is coming, but we want to be very careful how we buff him so he doesn't just become the legend that kills him. Haha. Yeah, that's fair. This is pretty decent. Here's the issue. He doesn't have an ult. He still won't have an ult. He doesn't have an ult. He needs his ult reworked. This is a really good buff, and his passive is, I think with the change to Lifeline, Fuse now has the best passive in the game. Without a doubt. Fuse's passive is insane. It is so fucking good. 2 stacks of Knuckle Cluster is good. Knuckle Cluster doesn't do a ton unless you land it right on them. His ult doesn't do a ton. He doesn't have an ult. His ult's cumbersome to use. It doesn't really dissuade people from leaving it or entering it. More entering than leaving. There are ways to get out of it with Jump Pad and Gravity Lift without taking damage from it. It doesn't exist. I still don't think he's ever going to be picked. Because his ult just needs to rework. This is a step in the right direction, but in my personal opinion, he's not going to be picked until his ult change. So yeah, moving on. Bangalore, thickened Bangalore smoke. We optimize Bangalore smoke particles and inadvertently thin them out. This aims to get her back to the original visuals while keeping the good. Bangalore smoke is probably the best part of her kit. So yep, all good. Bloodhound, here we are. Here we are. No longer receives assist from Eye of the Allfather. You telling me I can't get to fucking Diamond by scanning people and hiding, bro? That's so cringe. My KP, bro. Bloodhound scan is strong, but the goal of this change in particular is to reconsider assists and their implications for ranked points. There's enough intrinsic value in sonar scans. It's a slippery slope. To consider crediting assists for other non-damaging abilities. Crypto will remain an exception. The active nature of Crypto's drone scan is notably different from the passive option of Bloodhound. This should encourage Bloodhound players to act on the information they get from the scan to eliminate instances where they might try to snag a quick assist without committing to a fight in the same way Crypto has to. This is good. I think everyone wanted this. Everyone agreed that Bloodhound, despite being pretty oppressive in terms of his information, is mostly well balanced. I would say the other intelligence gathering legend should be buffed to Bloodhound's level instead of Bloodhound being nerfed. I think this is the only thing that needed to be nerfed. Everyone agreed on it. So yeah, it's good. I agree. I agree on this 100%. I think it's a positive step in the right direction. I think Bloodhound is, despite being as strong as he is in a fine spot, no problems with this. That's good. Good job. Crypto. Crypto's drone can now scan and open care packages. I'm not sure what they mean by scanning it. Does it mean I can see the insides of it, like Loba? That'd be interesting. Anyways, could no longer use his drone to hijack a respawn beacon that's already in use. I also don't know what that means. It sounds like if someone is in the middle of filling that bar to respawn somebody, Crypto could run in with his drone and steal it before they could respawn. So I didn't know you could do that. So I'm glad that it's removed. No, that seems pretty dumb. But yeah, that's good. I think Crypto will still be picked to deal with defensive characters and competitive, because defensive characters are more favored in competitive because it's not as much of a clusterfuck. So I think these are fun. Yeah, going over all these changes, I think Crypto is going to stay the same. I don't think these changes are going to move him one way or the other. This is a good nerf. Bloodhound's still going to be strong. Bangalore has always been kind of a niche pick for people that love her, like some of the streamers. I think this is good for them. Fuse buff is good. He won't be picked. Horizon nerf is solid. Not sure if it's going to be enough. We'll see. Loba ultimate is a head scratcher, but not a big deal. Her Q buff is insanely good. Probably second biggest buff in the game outside of this patch, outside of Lifeline. These nerfs are good. This will probably be the end of Octane in tournaments, from the little he was. And in ranked, he'll be a little more at risk when he uses it, so that's all good. Lifeline buff is insanely good for new players. I don't think she'll be picked in either ranked or competitive. Yeah. No. I mean, probably ranked, because everyone will play anything in ranked, but no competitive, probably. We'll see. Low profile, glad it's gone. No, but these three didn't need it, so yeah. All good, all good. And now we move on to the guns. Exciting. Alright, marksman weapon category. The G7 Scout and the 3030 are currently in the assault rifle weapons category, but they're a bit strange in that category due to their firing style and some of their handling values. Similarly, the triple take felt a little out of place in the sniper category. With the introduction of the Bocek bow, we felt it was a good time to introduce a new weapons category, marksman weapons, which will include the G7, the 3030, the triple take, and the Bocek. Weapons in this category are precision weapons that are effective up to medium-long range, and are sort of the in-betweens of assault rifles and snipers. This allows us to begin to move the settings of these weapons towards a more consistent value for the class, and make the settings of the AR and snipers more consistent with less outliers. So I'm assuming the ammo types aren't changing here. Also, why is there two bows here? Huh? Ever. Anyways. For starters, we're increasing the movement speed while aiming down the sights for marksman weapons. They were at sniper speeds and I'll be between sniper and AR speeds. Additionally, we have done some targeted normalization of hipfire spread amount. Well, at the top is just the category. Oh, so they're using the bow to represent the category. That's odd because there's only one bow or guns in this category. But yeah, sure, dude. Whatever. Huntsman sniper. Haha. Don't kill me, Gabe. Anyways, yeah, seems fine. Whatever. Supply drop rotation. So, the Peacekeeper is back on the ground to compete with the Mastiff, and the triple take is going in the care package. This season, we're taking the Peacekeeper out of the supply drop and putting the triple take in its place. Of course, with any supply drop changes, these weapons will have their stats updated. See how each weapon changes down below. Okay. Great weapon drop rate. Since we are exchanging a shotgun with a marksman weapon, now was a good time to rebalance the drop rates of crate weapons. The Kraber will spawn less often in the early game, and more often in the mid game to better accommodate its power. This is the triple take will be the most common early game crate weapon. Okay. And with the Prowler being the most prominent late game crate weapon. So I have a question for you guys. See, I know you guys, I don't think I have any pros in my chat, but does anybody actually like the Prowler? Do people think like the Prowler is the big late game weapon that turns the tide? So I'm very confused of it. I always thought Prowler was like the early game weapon. I thought it was going to be Prowler triple take at the start, then probably Kraber triple take mid game, and then what? Kraber. I mean, I guess it was Kraber PK before. But this one, I've never understood the Prowler there. Maybe with the nerfs of some of the other weapons. I still think it's R99 if it's going to be game SMG. The thing is, a kitted Volt and R99 is already a solid late game gun. Because it's just how much damage you can put out. And like the R99 and the Volt put out damage, I believe, quicker than any other gun in the game. Outside of like a Kraber headshot. So maybe the Prowler. I mean, I've never like here's my feeling towards the Prowler. I have never hated the Prowler. In fact, I will usually take it if it's in the crate. Unless I have a kitted Volt, I will usually take it. But I've never been like the pros that get the Kraber like kind of like gasp at getting the Kraber. They're like, oh hell yeah, I've got the Kraber, let's fuck. And the same with the PK. Like, oh yeah, I got the PK, let's fucking go. But like the Prowler is just kind of like, I don't know, I'll take the Prowler, I'll use the Prowler. Do I really love the Prowler? No. Do I really think the Prowler is gonna change the tide of a fight? No. So it's like, it's kind of a head scratcher to me, because it's like, if the Prowler is not that valuable of a gun, it probably should be the early game gun. It's not like the Prowler isn't good. But why is it the late game gun? That's just kind of what's confusing me. Why is the Prowler the late game one? Is it so? It might be because they don't want like every team to have a Kraber at the end, I guess. But yeah, it's a little odd. Prowler's nice and heavy, but rounds are better in flatline if I had to choose. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine the reason they did this is so that you don't have like 8 Krabers in the final ring, which is fine. It's just, I kind of wish there was a better gun put in its place. We'll see. Yeah, I imagine it's not because the Prowler is an insane late game gun. I imagine it's because the Kraber is insane. Kraber is the strongest gun in the care package, without doubt. Especially with the PK leaving. Yeah, Prowler's definitely the weakest, and triple take in the middle. Then Kraber's the strongest. So I guess. So what they want you to do is they want you to get kitted up in the early game. They want you to win all your early game fights, and then they want you to be really aggressive for these care packages in the mid game to get your Kraber. And then, like, if you're too late, you're getting a Prowler. Fuck you. It's not like the Prowler isn't useful. It's just like it's not the most coveted care package weapon. No. Yeah, I guess the logic is they don't want Kraber. They don't want 50,000 Krabers in round 6. So fair enough. Moving on. Fully kitted rotation. Oh, so these are the gold weapons. I actually didn't see this when I read this before. So yeah. So the new gold weapons are Wingman, Ugg, Bocek, that's good, that definitely is needed. R99, okay. Hemlock, okay. And Sentinel. They're removing the R301, so there's no more gold R301, I think that's fine. There's no more gold R3030, nobody wanted that anyways. No gold Mozambique, nobody wanted that. No more gold Longbow, I don't think anyone cares. No more gold Spitfire, this is a nerf. These two needed to be done. And the rest of these nobody wanted, so yeah, I think this is fine. That's good. I don't think it'll make a huge difference in towards the span, like the health of the game, gun balance, but all seems good. Can't really, you can hit your headshots, Prowler can one shot. I mean, you can say that for R99 Volt though. Like the Volt and the R99 with a kitted one, can definitely one clip people. They do all the time. Yeah, gold R99 is gonna be cringe, I think. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the most cringe thing. I think gold Wingman's gonna be kind of cringe as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, Emmy, there's like clips of like from a week or two ago of a popular streamers 1v3 and one clipping people with the R99 constantly. It's like this gun is already insane, so it's like compared to the Prowler, they're about equivalent. So again, that's why it's like, why is the Prowler in the care package? I guess, but. It's fun. Yeah, nobody. I would not take this even if it was gold. I would not take this even if it was gold. I'd have to be coerced by a battle pass daily to take the longbow. I'm not that good at longbow. Spitfire doesn't need to be a gold weapon. R301 doesn't need to be a gold weapon. Gold Wingman is cringe. I don't think it'll make a huge difference. Gold Bocek is good because it needs so many attachments. Gold R99 is mega cringe. Gold Hemlock is. The Hemlock's already pretty good. And a Gold Sentinel, I'm pretty neutral on these two, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, they removed Skullpiercer from the game again, I believe, so. From what I read. Alright, hop-ups. Shattercaps. Fire select to toggle between standard mode and shatter mode. In shatter mode, rounds split into a shotgun pattern. This hop-up will be equipable to the 30-30 and the bow. Oh, it's the 30-30. Huh. I also didn't read this. Man, I'm bad at reading. I read this in bed, and I didn't see this. I was kind of skimming through it. Huh. That is interesting. I'm actually... This Shattercap 30-30 will now make it distinct from the Wingman. I like this. This is interesting. I'm interested to see how this performs. Firing at the perfect moment increases fire rate. This can currently be attached to the Sentinel and the Bocek. To the Sentinel? That's insane. I'm not sure what it means by firing at the perfect moment, but you might just have to wait for a charge bar to fill or something. That might swing the Sentinel as well, because the Sentinel already does a fuck ton of damage per shot. If you can fire the second one even quicker, you might be able to, at least in the early part of this patch, you might be able to catch somebody off guard, because they won't be ready for you to fire that second shot. If you can dome them twice, just fuck them. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I can't really say much about the hop-ups because they're new. I haven't had time with them, but I'm really interested to see how this performs. Yeah. To make room, the Hammer Point and the Skullpiercer hop-ups are being vaulted for now. Be available. It's interesting to me because they just buffed the Mozambique. We'll see that a little later. But there was a niche in ranked with the Mozambique, or maybe normal. But there's a niche for the Mozambique with the Hammer Point because it did like 90 health if you landed every pellet. So removing this is interesting. We'll see. Skullpiercer, I really don't think Skullpiercer has a place in this game. So I'm glad it's gone. Okay, yeah. So yeah, well, I'm interested to see how these new hop-ups do. Beyond that, yeah. Mostly worried about gold R99, but everything else here with the gold weapon rotation is solid, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The Hammer Point to me was always a compromise to make shittier early game guns better. But I guess they saw streamers starting to use Hammer Point Mozambique on their offhand weapons, so shrug. I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion about any of these changes, so we'll just see how it goes. Alright, assault rifles. Reducing the headshot multiplier for all assault rifles from 2 to 1.75. So this is a damage nerf. This was already the case for the Hemlock, so this is a damage nerf to the R301, Flatline, and the Havoc. I really don't think the Havoc needed that, but I guess if it had turbocharger, it got kind of nasty, so whatever. So damage nerf to top players for assault rifles. That's fine. Alright, the return of the PK. Oh boy. Since the PK is coming out of the crate, we're bringing back many of the stats back in line with their previous values. That we're also reducing its damage potential, bringing in the effective range a bit, since the precision choke is always available. So, like how it was in the care package, it always has the choke. That's cringe. Pellet damage reduced to 10 per shot to 9 per shot. I don't have the stats, but I don't know how many pellets are used per pull. But my mind is telling me that's like a max damage nerf of like 8 to 10, I want to say. Which is fairly significant, so. Rechamber time increased, that's good. Reload time's increased. 0.5 seconds when it's regular, that's fine. Empty, 0.15, that's pretty significant. You basically don't want to empty out the PK, if you can help it. Pellet spread increased in general, and spread when charge increased for all charge levels. 6.5, 4.5, 0.2 to 8.5, 0.6, and 3.5. Quickly loses charges when leaving ADS, so you can't just, like, pussyfoot it, okay? You can't just R, readjust, and then, or I'm sorry, right-click, ADS, I don't know why I'm saying right-click. ADS, leave, reposition quickly around the corner, and then ADS again still have that full charge, that's fine. The spread is good, reload time is good. You probably won't feel this at all. Probably will feel this significantly. You might feel this if you've used the PK a lot. I think a lot of people won't feel this change and this change because the PK was put in the Disney Vault, basically the care package. So I don't think I think a lot of people haven't been playing with the PK lately, so I'm sure they won't feel this. This is probably the only thing that I'm like hoping will be enough, not make it oppressive. I'm still a little worried. I'm still worried about the PK. It's 11 pellets, so that's 11 damage down. That's pretty good. We'll see. This with the rechamber time, we'll have to see with. But yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. I'm always worried because the PK was a blight on this game for as long as it was, but yeah. We'll see. Triple Take. As a crate weapon, it will come with a 9 ammo clip and 63 reserve ammo. That is kind of nuts. Fire rate increased. Time to fully charge reduced slightly. Retains charge briefly after leaving ADS. That's also quite big. Move speed while aiming down the sights has been increased to match other marksman weapons. Increase speed while airborne and aiming down sights. Yeah, we'll have to see on this one. The Triple Take was always a gun I liked picking up, but I'm not sure if I'd really love it as a care package weapon. Because when I get a crate weapon, I usually have my 2 guns I want to take with me to the end game. And I'm not really sure, like, generally most people are going to run Wingman SMG, SMG shotgun, AR shotgun, AR SMG. So is there really a place for a marksman weapon right now? We'll have to see. But again, yeah, if I'm getting a crate weapon, what did they say the highest early game? It will be the Triple Take, so it might be fine. It might be fine, but then again, because it's an early game weapon, you're probably going to be out of that reserve ammo by the late game, so you're probably going to have to drop it anyways. So it's like, I don't know what they really want to accomplish with the Triple Take. The Triple Take will continue to be an early game tumor because of how much damage you can get. You can farm red shields with it. It'll do, like, if you're good at aiming it with the full charge, you're going to do a lot of fucking damage. But then, yeah, by the time the late game comes around, you're never going to see it because you're either going to have a Kraber or you're going to have your preferred loadout. So we'll see. It's just going to continue to be an early game blight. But thankfully, because it's a care package weapon, it won't be as much of an early game blight. So I guess they've accomplished what they're going for. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what the goal is with this gun in general, I guess. It's like, when you put the Triple Take in the game, what did you want to accomplish with it? What did you want to change? What did you want to mix up in the gun meta? So now that it's like this, it feels like it's still the same gun it was, it's just less frequent, so I guess it's fine.
The best way to balance Apex is to actually just remove guns.
That's fair. Understandable. Thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, we should all melee. That'll be the most entertaining part of it. Havoc, reduced recoil controllability early in the pattern. This should help make up for the reduced headshot multiplier, make it a bit more usable in mid-range fights. I mean, honestly, I think in general it just is the recoil tuned down because I even with the changes to, I mean, like, it's been nerfed with all the other assault rifles, so I'm still wondering, why do I take this instead of an R301 or Spitfire? Why do I take this? It's like, maybe the recoil will be enough, but I doubt it. I doubt it. It's just one of those things, I don't know. I've always kind of like if I came up to you, why would you grab a Havoc? If I put an R301 in front of you, and I put a Havoc in front of you, why do you grab the Havoc? The ammo's harder to come by. It has more recoil, and needs more attachments to be good. Now, granted, if you have a fully kitted Havoc, it's kind of nuts. But the Havoc's not a gold weapon, so you have to get it yourself. You know? Yeah. It's like, why do you take the Havoc? It's more damage per shot, and if you have a turbocharger, I believe theoretically it does more DPS, but like, it's always going to be this really weird gun that I don't think anybody's going to take. Spitfire, reduced recoil, or basically what this reads as is more recoil early when you shoot. So the first few shots are going to spread more, and the first few shots for the Havoc are going to spread less. Spitfire is too strong at the moment, boasting good damage output with low recoil, making it hard to control early in the pattern and should give more time for opponents to fight against it. That said, we're prepared to make more changes to the Spitfire if it remains too powerful. I don't think this is enough. I think the Spitfire's biggest problem is its close range is insane because it has 800 shots in the clip. I'm over exaggerating, but it has 800 shots in the clip, and all of them do like 30 damage a shot. It's an insane gun. It's going to continue to be insane. I really don't think hipfire recoil, recoil in general, it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough. They buffed the damage 2 patches in a row and didn't realize that was the issue with it. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think either of these recoil changes do anything. I don't think there's a world in where you're logically going to grab a Havoc unless someone donates a kitted Havoc to you. It's like, and as an early game, I will grab the Havoc because I have no other gun. I will look for an attachment for it, like a turbocharger. If I don't find one, I drop it. And it's just like, yeah, there's no world in which I keep a Havoc. Even though in theory it has the higher damage than the other ARs, it's too much work. And that's the thing. People don't like think about how much work it takes to make a gun viable. Like, Havoc takes too much. I think if they want to make this gun a little more viable, I think they should very slightly tweak the windup without the turbocharger. And then it might be kind of a niche gun, but it's odd. It's an odd gun to balance. It shreds, but it doesn't matter. Because it's like, there are so many guns that shred. Why would I take the Havoc over anything else? The R301 still lasers, probably easier. And it's like, if I want close range, R99 Volt. It's like, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't think this is going to be enough. I don't think any good player is going to run the Havoc. So, we'll see. But I don't think this changes what the Havoc was or is. It's also weird because they have to get rid of the gimmick it used to have because of the 5G rifle. I feel like they should just rework the gun entirely. Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll have to revisit it someday because it's not that it's a terrible gun, but it's kind of outclassed in a lot of areas. And it's just weird. It doesn't, like, what's its place in the meta? Why, it's the same thing. It's the same question I ask you as a player with the triple take. If I put this gun in front of you unkitted next to an R301, why do you take it? What's going through your head when you want to pick up this gun? So it's just a little odd. Its early recoil was its biggest problem. Yeah, no, I do agree. I do agree there. But the issue, yeah, I don't know. I still don't think it's going to. The issue is I don't know how much this means. So if this is a significant buff to the recoil. And yeah, I agree. I do use the Havoc a lot, so it's like the recoil, the hipfire recoil when you first start shooting on the windup is one of its bigger problems. But again, without knowing how much this is changing, I can't say for certain. Recoil isn't really that bad. I 100% disagree. There's no reason I would take this with the little recoil it has over the Volt R99. R301 in a hipfire scenario. If this recoil is better, it does do more damage per shot, so I could see somebody taking it, but I still think it takes way too many attachments to be viable. We're going to move on because I don't want to get into a debate. Moving on, let's move on to the Spitfire here. Like I said, not enough. This isn't going to be enough. Again, without being able to see the recoil differences, I can't make a concise judgment, but I don't think this is enough, and I don't think this is enough. Without wasting a couple of shots to get it going. But yeah, the windup is the problem. By the time you're waiting for the windup, you're already gone on, and especially in close range hipfire. So it's like mid range, maybe mid range early game is probably where this is going to shine. But like if I'm waiting for the windup, then I'd want another gun. So, shrug. Let's see, 30-30 repeater, increased leg damage multiplier from 0.7 to 0.8. Move speed while aiming down sights has been increased to match other marks and weapons. This doesn't do anything. This does absolutely nothing. There's nobody that's going to run this again. And this is even a clearer debate for me than the Havoc versus the other ARs. Why do you take this over the Wingman? You don't. There's no point. It's a shit gun. It's a shit gun. Even gold, it was a shit gun. I am still very interested to see how the shatter caps are going to do. I definitely want to see, but I still don't think it's going to. So yeah. Recapping. No, this doesn't do anything. Yeah. Moving on. G7 Scout. Move speed while aiming down sights has been increased. Match other marksman weapons. Increased hip fire spread. Reduce accuracy to be more in line with other marksman weapons. 30-30 could use some love, so we're bringing up the amount of leg damage. This should make it a bit more consistent without raising its high best case damage potential. Nobody's going to take this gun. Nobody takes this gun. Watch any streamer, nobody's going to grab this gun. It doesn't happen. Nobody really grabs the Havoc either. But like, at least I could make a better use case for the Havoc than the 30-30. Nobody's going to take this gun. Unless these shatter caps are insane, nobody's going to take this gun. Moving on. G7 Scout. People used to like the Scout a lot back in early Apex. I don't think the hipfire was ever good. It was never amazing from my experience. It's even worse now. So, again, I don't know. 30-30 in the bow check will have more accurate hipfire than the baseline marksman weapon values. The G7 Scout will be less accurate in hipfire than those. The shatter caps look like they'll make the 30-30 worth picking up from a trailer crib. Yeah, that's what I'm holding out for, because I've always felt that more so than any other gun in this game, the 30-30 has no reason to. So if the shatter caps differentiate in some way, I'm actually really looking forward to that. We'll say. But again, the biggest problem with Apex is there are a lot of guns that are like, this is bad, but if you have a kitted one, it's it's more viable if you're used to it. So it's just like, I don't know. But in a game like Apex, where you very quickly have to grab guns and you have to grab the guns that are most readily available to you, people are still going to grab the R301, the Mastiff, the PK, the Volt, etc., because it's just more readily available to them. If you especially in ranked and competitive where you don't have like loot goblins like Lifeline and Loba, you run into the scenario where it's like, yeah, theoretically the 30-30 with shatter caps might be super good, the Havoc with the turbocharger might be super good, the all these kitted guns might be super good, but I don't have the time to look for them, you know? And I can't sacrifice one of my weapon slots and ammo, or alternatively sacrifice a slot in my backpack for an attachment, when I could just grab a comparable gun that doesn't take as much many attachments to be. We'll see. Havoc, again, it's like all these guns, I don't think it's going to change where they are. I don't think really any of these changes do anything. Like it just kind of seems like normalization changes, but I don't think they're going to change who picks them up and who uses them. So yeah, we'll see. It's all going to come down to the 30-30 with the shatter caps. It's going to come down to how much these recoils are. I don't think this does anything. Longbow, increased headshot multiplier from 2 to 2.1. That's fine. Wingman, increased headshot multiplier from 2 to 2. As we've done the Skull Piercers out of the loot pool, we're giving the Longbow and Wingman a compensatory buff. That's fine. Mozambique, increased magazine capacity from 4 to 6. Move the 2 lower pellets inward in the blast pattern. This gives the baseline power level, so only finding a Mozambique early in the match gives you more fighting chance, and makes up for the removal of the hammer point. This seems a little misguided, because the hammer point Mozambique was more of a mid-game thing, and they clearly want to make Mozambique an early game gun. So for the early game, I think this is actually pretty good. I think 6 shots in the clip will actually give you the fighting chance that they have so readily tried to make you believe was a thing. Like until this patch, they were always like, well, the Mozambique, you can fight with that. No, you fucking can't. But it's like, yeah, if the hammer point's gone, I think the Mozambique was actually carving out a niche. I said this earlier in the stream. It was carving out a niche with the hammer points because it did like 90 damage to cracked shields. So it's like you get yourself like an AR or an SMG, you crack your shields, and then you pull this out and you fucking 2-shot them. It was actually kind of a niche gun. Like, I saw people running it, and I was like, it was really interesting to me. But with hammer point, it's just going to be a dog shit gun that you pick up at the start, but now it'll be a slightly less dog shit gun at the start. So that's all this does. It's back to shit land with this boy. Finally, Jeff will no longer grief my game mold. It's just the worst even now. But I mean, it's like, I guess they wanted to remove that niche mid-game power, that hammer point power from this gun. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. So it's back to shit town with the Mozambique. Slightly less shit town, so that'll be fine. P2020 increased bolt damage from 15 to 18, lowered fire rate from 8.5 to 6 from 8.5 to 6.5. So want to bring P20's baseline power level up a bit. Most players couldn't take advantage of the fast fire rate, so bringing that down, increasing the damage, should help players win early fights. Again, 3 damage per shot. I don't think it's going to make a big deal. It's like both of these guns are going to be slightly better at when you hot drop. That's about it, really. I don't think it's really going to change anything. I don't think any of these guns really are going to be change their position. The things to watch for are going to be the PK, to see how it performs against the Mastiff and the Eva. And it'll depend on these recoil changes, but I don't think the Spitfire is going to be dropped. Watch the blast caps on 30-30. About it. I don't think this changes anything else in this game. Aim and move slow for Arc Stars removed from the initial stick. Thank fucking God. Thank fucking God. Fuck Arc Stars. I think with the Horizon nerfs, I'm gonna change my name to Delete Arc Stars on Steam. Oh my god, fuck that. Fuck this grenade. I hate it, but I'm glad the stick is gone. Thinking someone should feel rewarding because it's a rare curse that's difficult to pull off. While an argument can be made that getting stuck should be a personal death sentence, the inability to at least relocate and spare teammates from the follow-up explosion makes it hard to counter against the team. This change should help mitigate that without stripping away the satisfaction of hitting it. Yeah. Rare occurrence, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen streamers or Reddit clips, but it's not as uncommon as they're making it out to be. But yeah, this is fine. I would say any nerf to Arc Star is good, so yeah, I'll take it. Alright, so yeah, to recap, I really don't think this shifts the gun meta one way or the other significantly. I think PK, Shatter Caps will be something to watch, and recoil, like I said, depends on the recoil. I don't think the Havoc's going to move anywhere. I don't think the Spitfire is going to move anywhere. These buffs do nothing, but maybe Shatter Caps make it insane. PK might be insane. We'll see. That's a pretty significant damage nerf, so we will see. Headshot multiplier is pretty significant as well. Probably one of the more significant things in this. But yeah, I'm not seeing like really insane changes to the weapon meta, which is good because the weapon meta was good. So, shrug. Alright, quality of life. Badges are now sorted by categories, can be filtered by all or unlocked only. Thank God. How did that take 9 fucking seasons, man? My issue of Arc, besides the damage, is getting a full slow because you took 10 damage at the edge of this huge blast radius. Yeah. Here's my opinion. Turn speed slows should not exist in any game ever because they're cringe, and all they do is promote like really cringe scenarios where it's like, oh, I can't flick because I didn't have a DPI increase. I think it's dumb. Even if it's compensated for DPI switchers, I think it's dumb. Honestly, AR nerf might just make Spitfire better even with the nerf. Yeah, maybe. Again, it's hard to say because they don't have a demonstration of the recoil changes. So again, I can't really tell you how much, because yeah, like we've discussed a billion times already, the Havoc's the weakest part of the Havoc is the windup and the early recoil for the first few shots. So if this is significant, if this is more laser beamy, because yeah, if you can laser beam after the initial recoil, the Havoc is pretty fucking strong damage-wise. So if this is a significant buff, we might see people run the Havoc. And if the Spitfire recoil is significant, I don't know. It's like, I need a demonstration to know for sure. So, again, these are on hold until I can see the changes. But knowing Respawn, I think the Spitfire will still be strong, and nobody will probably still pick the Havoc outside of, like, fringe scenario. Knowing Respawn, I'm not confident, but yeah, like you said, knowing Respawn the way I do, Spitfire will probably still be strong. I just read the Horizon nerfs. Yeah, I like the Horizon nerf. Flow is so strong it may as well be a stun. Yeah. The end of the dev note makes it seem like it's not that big. Make it 30 headshot multiplier. A bit harder to control early. The power to give more time for opponents. Yeah, I'm not. Knowing Respawn, I don't think they know what they're doing with this. So. I don't think it's that big of a deal because I think the gun meta is mostly fine. But yeah. To conclude, fuck Arc Stars. This does nothing. In fact, this removes a niche. Oh, no, it's mostly the hammer point that removes a niche for the Mozambique. Not going to notice it. Not going to notice it. Probably not going to notice it too much. Remains to be seen with Shatter Caps. This does nothing. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Triple takes a little bit of an odd gun, so I'm not sure if people are going to value this anymore. because it's been created. We'll see how the PK compares to the Mastiff. Yeah. And gold R99 is cringe. No more gold Spitfire is good. No more gold R301 is good. No more gold 3030 is good because it fucking sucked. And yeah. But yeah, we will see. Alright, moving on to quality of life. When looting death boxes, players can now see health bars for everyone on the team. That's good. Challenges can now be favorited by going to the challenge menu and right-clicking a challenge. The challenge will then be added to a new favorites tab that can appear in the lobby and in the match's map screen. Okay. 9 seasons, by the way. Wait, what season are we on? Yeah, this will be season 9. So, 9 seasons. This is good. 9 seasons. These are all good, so that's fine. Pressing and holding F2 while in-game will bring up the ability description page for your character. This is only available on PC. Get fucked, console boys. Yeah, that's fine. Player can now request better equipment by going into their inventory and pinging a piece of equipment. So if any of you thought that the nightmares of I need a knockdown shield from Gibraltar was gone, that has returned. So your life is now a continuous nightmare. Anytime you play with me, I will need a knockdown shield. I need a knockdown shield. Your first challenge reroll of the day is now free. That's great. That means I will never be I will never be doing the challenge for getting a finisher because I hate it. Rerolling your challenges will allow you to choose from either BR focus challenges or arena focus. That's good. Hollow sprays, quips, and emotes can now be favorited. They will be used whenever the player is prompted to do a random emote. Okay. Club invites version 2. You can now include what you want to play when you send your clubmates a party invite. Select as many clubmates as you want to send the invite to at once via the member list. Ranked. Fixed edge cases where an abandon penalty would be incorrectly applied due to server error. Yeah. Edge cases. Yeah, I've seen enough streamers complain about this. Especially like a month or so ago. I saw a lot of people complaining about this, so haha, but whatever. Remove edge dropship flight paths again. Edge. Whenever they say edge, I feel like whenever they say this rarely happens, I think they're underselling it a bit, but it's fine. Dropship flight paths to prevent matches where large portions of the map receive little to no traffic. These screenshots show a before and after comparison of possible flight paths on Kings Canyon. Alright, let's see it. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I mean, yeah, it's just like some of these flight paths suck ass. It looks like there's going to be more going through the center, so yeah. Less bad flight paths. Always nice. The gold finishers are so fun to interact with and also definitely work. My shield. It's probably like statistical data, so ring update. We are continuing work from the Fight Night update to improve match pacing towards the end of the game. We're slowing down the closing speed of the late game rings to allow you more time to fight and maneuver your way into the ring. We're also reducing the waiting time before rings 4 and 6 start to close. Ring 4, pre-shrink time reduced. Another drink, actually. They fucking love to talk. We're also reducing the waiting time before rings 4 and 6 start to close, but they close slower. Okay. So you'll have more time to get in the ring, but you won't have as much time to think about it, is what it looks like they're trying to do. Spear shit sucks. So yeah. So the waiting time for ring 4 is down by 15 seconds, but it closes 7 seconds slower. Ring 5 closes 20 seconds slower. That's quite significant. You now will have 30 seconds less to think about the final round, and the final round now takes 20 seconds longer to close. Okay. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion of how I feel about the late game rings, so if they want the wait time to be less and the active time to be more, I'm pretty much fine with that. They're tired of making a BR game. Yeah, it's like they're tired of making a BR game. I would be too. Have you ever noticed how excited the developers are about the arenas mode? They're like, oh yeah, I didn't want to make a BR. EA held me at gunpoint. I'm glad we're getting away from that BR shit. Got bug fixes, tactical UI not showing Bloodhound, gas traps and jump pads no longer float into the sky, placed next to a zipline. Light wall bumps no longer cancel raise tactical. Decoys no longer die after a tick of thermite damage. Placed items ordinances will no longer get stuck and disappear and be bounced off jump pads. Depth zones will no longer bounce on jump pad. Then prompt will no longer appear. Fixed more areas or Loba's bracelet fails. They placed this twice now in their patch notes. Like, yeah, guys, we fixed it. I promise. We fixed it. Mobile respawn beacon now has proper collision with amped cover. Jumping on or off to damage Sheila will no longer transfer the flame effect to your weapon. Players will no longer have weapons drawn if they are knocked as they enter the Fight Night ring via gravity lift. 1x Hollow Sight will no longer block. Don't care. Will no issue Newt not getting refunded if it immediately dies due to a bad spot. Okay. 1x Hollow Sight will no longer. Yeah, this is just bug fix stuff. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this is overall, as far as Apex patches go, this is a pretty good one. We'll see. I've never really disagreed with big Apex patches. It usually problems arise from these big Apex patches and they don't adjust them enough. I think that's the big thing. I think Bangalore probably needs a little more love than she got. But we'll have to see, because thicker smoke is always nice for Bangalore. Bloodhound nerf is fine. Caustic, I guess the developers think Caustic's a fine spot. I can't really say for certain, so whatever. Crypto is still going to be the niche Bloodhound, so that's fine. Fuse is not going to be picked. I don't care if you have 2 stacks of this. His ult sucks. He's not going to be picked. Gibby is still going to be picked constantly. Horizon, we'll have to wait and see. This is a pretty big nerf, so we will see. Lifeline, this is good for new players. She's still not going to be picked in ranked or competitive. Loba, the Q buff is insanely good. The ult nerf is a bit of a head scratcher, but whatever. Barrage, nothing to be seen. Octane, I like these nerfs. It looks like it's targeted towards bad players, so we'll see. Pathfinder, nothing to be seen, which is a bit of a head scratcher. Rampart, nothing to be seen, bit of a head scratcher. Revenant, nothing to be seen. Again, don't know. Watson, I think she lost low profile, which is really good, and she now zaps Horizon, which is really good. I actually think the more Watson can do things to other legends, the more Watson will shine, and so I'm glad. Wraith will probably continue to be queen of tournaments, which is Revs on the drawing boards, yeah. Throwing Loba's bracelet now teleports the actual player into over a bottomless pit, so they eliminate all complaints. Yeah, the pesky programming, so yeah. There's a few legends I think need to be touched, but for the most part, this is fine. We'll have to see how it pans out. Gun meta seems okay, we'll see, and yeah, I think the biggest thing to me is this. This is the biggest change, the most impactful one, and the best one. Yeah. I think that is just about everything. This was an hour and 18 minutes. Why the fuck was this an hour and 18 minute stream? I hate it. I hate patch notes. I love talking about them. But yeah, okay. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see for a lot of this, but a lot of it is the step in the right direction. But again, Apex's biggest problem has been they will release a season, and because of how fast they release these seasons, most of their team is dedicated to working on the next season. So as far as I understand with Respawn, the team that is responsible for adjusting mid-season changes becomes mostly a skeleton crew after the halfway mark. So the issue with Respawn has not been that their season changes are bad, but that they do not address mid-season problems fast enough. So yeah, we'll have to see. What about the emotes? I'm not LS. I don't go over cosmetics, but yeah, we'll have to see. I'll look at this one. Take a look here. Stuff here. Alright, so this is our emote. Looks like shit, because Twitter is bad. That's really good. I like that a lot. I think these are all the default ones that they ship with, right? I think you get them all for free. Oh, he grabs the crow! They grab the crow, sorry. They grab the crow and pet it. That's so good. Looks like Crypto is making funnies with his drone. Pretty good. Oh, he's playing a video game. The Bloodhound ones are really good. The gamer. Watson. Hell yeah. Maybe. Oh, that's good as well. Loba. Oh, is she good? Oh, no way. I think that's one of Revenant's unfinished bodies. That's really good. I love that. Yeah, these are all good. These are all fantastic. Don't really know what Fuse is doing here, but he's just kind of showing off his dick, I guess. Bloodhound 1's insanely good. Yeah, these are all good. These are what really matter. Crypto sucks because he's a gamer and gamers are bad. This is the cutest thing ever, and I love it. I'm starting to become a Watson build, and I love this as well. These are all good. Love them. Use emote looks as underdeveloped as his old. Oh, you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to just say it. Yeah. I did not tap F11. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to arenas as well. I'm interested to see how the gun meta changes, and I really want to try this. I want to try this really fucking bad. I want to play this now. I wanted to play this now. I'm very interested to see how it goes. I get a showboating for the crowd a la wrestler, but kind of deal, but still. I mean, like his whole. I don't know. I never really saw him as like a showboating. I mean, like he's sort of a showboater. I never figured that was the focus of his personality. He's mostly just kind of like a I don't give a shit, go in and get things done kind of character. So I don't know. Emote seems a little lackluster, but how they develop his ult, I'm not surprised. The rest of these are amazing. So yeah, I think that is all I have to say. I've said a lot, so I am really, really, really looking forward to this patch, and I hope it stays good. I hope that we get the changes mid-season when the problems inevitably arise that the game deserves. Yeah. Two more things I want to note. They posted a blog post about lag compensation. I wholeheartedly agree with their logic, because they're stupid, and I hope cheaters get fucked because cheaters are bad. I think those are the only. It's literally just a Hulk Hogan rogue. I don't know. Not as eye-catching to me, but I don't really think the crypto one's that good either, so who knows. It's just gonna be personal preference. I can't really speak one or the other. These arena locations are cringe because I really hate Thermal Station. I don't like Thermal Station. Gardens is a great place for an arena map. Artillery is probably a fine spot for an arena map, but there's so much like elevated. There's a lot of vertical play here, and people will just hide in the bunkers. That's a little cringe, but whatever. Have to wait and see on Phase Runner, but I've heard that Phase Runner is quite big, so I probably won't like it. Party Crasher is probably going to be my favorite because I love the aesthetic, and that's probably not going to be as big as the other. So yeah, we'll see. Well, Bloodhound Watson, yeah, definitely my favorite. I like Lobos a lot as well, and yeah, I want to play Arena. So yeah, hope for the best, expect the worst. We know how Respawn Entertainment is. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So yeah, thanks for watching. I just wanted to stream again so I could remember how to stream, because I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks already. The internet war continues. Hopefully we'll have something soon. Have a good one, guys. I will see most of you on Tuesday because we'll probably be playing together. But yeah, have a good one. Take it easy.